Hey, welcome back to another episode of Johnscryptotherapy. Today, we're going to talk about the Omi token, what really happened with price with Bitforex, and what we're going to be starting to do to start buying your Omi tokens at a better ratio price. If you do like these type of videos, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get right into it. And I'm going to try to go through every scenario that I see in my mind that price can do, and you guys can use this information as the educational based purpose to look for trades of your own for buys and sells and how to impact your wallet the right way. So when we're looking at price structure right here, I do see that we have this triple top. Triple top is a great information, but more or less, we do have this channel-based structure. Channel-based structure is great because we have sideways of peaking highs and peaking lows where you look to sell on the top and buy at the bottom. Very important, very easy to say, but hard to do. And we're going to be talking about how you can start doing this the right way. First of all, guys, when you're looking at structure of any source, you want to make sure we have a liquidation of structure before it comes back in. Liquidation is very important because you want to take out the previous structural highs before prices rotate back into volume or into structure. Let's put this into a hypothetical here. Let's say I have a volume node right here. If I have the highest volume price action, not here, but when we go here, there's a high volume price action node right here. Where do you think price is going to rotate back into? It is not very hard to see the price will most likely come back into the most volume node or the most valued where the price has been traded for the longest period of time. And for this case scenario, it is going to be at the bottom section of the market. Why is this important? Well, we're going to be talking about it in our structure trading today on our journey to find where is the best structure and where's the best place to start buying your new Omi token or a new package of bundles of Omi tokens the right way. So let's take away these charts right here. So what I noticed right here, guys, is right here on the bottom, we don't really see too much of a liquidation. I don't consider this a mass liquidation. It is very small. So that means there's a lot of orders right here on the bottom. What that means is I would like for price to rotate back down, take out those orders before we see another push towards upside. This push is going to make a lot of people believe that price is going to continue lower, but I don't think that push is to make price go lower. It is to take out the previous structural lows for everybody that has their stops, then continue a rotation back towards the upside. This is a great way of looking at the market. And if you guys look at the very top here, you guys can actually see we do have some great liquidation wicks right here. And this is very good for us to look into because we can see rotations back into the middle or where the highest volume is located. And that's what we're going to be starting to do. Now, if I look at the daily as well, guys, this is such a great liquidation because you could see for yourselves as well that we do have a good wick. This is what I call a great liquidation. I do not consider this a great liquidation right here, guys. This is a liquidation, but not a great one. You guys could see what price has done. It failed to go higher and prices got pushed back down, showing me a great sign of rejection. Here, we do not see that rejection as well. So you guys could see for yourselves, this is not as great. This would be like a C, while this is like an A+ when it comes to liquidity grab of some nature. Okay, so have that in the back of your mind. When we're going back into the weekly, what I'm looking for now is prices rotate back down. Now I want to look at volume. Volume is going to be very important here. When you look at volume right here, guys, we have little to no volume and we do have some volume spikes, but guess what? The rotation towards the upside was very massive. We do see a big move. Now, take a look now here in this mirroring section of the market. When you look at the left and right, you see on the right-hand side, we have huge, massive volume spikes and showing us that insist that we should be continuing towards the upside. With this type of information, we should be locking in a lot of profits or at least twice the size of this rally that I already had. We should be all the way up here, but we failed to do so. So that means we have limit sell orders or passive sellers that are willing to sell the market while people are trying to buy the price. What does this mean? Well, we're trying so hard to buy the price, but price right now has so much limit orders right here, guys, like a blanket, a cobweb, or a spider web in general, pushing the price and sticking the price around these levels. And this makes it very sufficiently hard for us to bring price to new levels or new highs. Of course, with Bitcoin spike and all of that could push the price up, giving us momentum that price can rotate towards upside. But what I'm seeing is a lower move before we start to push up. So keep that in mind, okay? A high volume failing to go higher, limit orders are telling us the price is failing to go higher. That means there's a lot of passive sellers willing to sell the price at this level. Now, when we're looking at this and I'm putting out my volume potential right here, we have the nodes right here telling us where price wants to go. Well, if we're at the very top of this node, guys, what do you think it's going to do? It's going to rotate where? Back in towards the middle, the highest peak point. Yes, you could start to take some profits right here and start to rebuy your tokens roughly around 0.000913, but the rotation is telling us there's a higher probability we can see going towards the lower section of the market, 0.000628. This is called a fade technique. You could use a fade technique every single time in the market, but keep in mind every node has its own 3 identities. We have a high, we have a low, and we have a middle point. So if I draw this out right here, guys, just like this is its own node as well. There's minor nodes inside of bigger nodes. So if this is the case, we have a high, we also have a low. Most of all, we do have a middle, the highest point. You see how we have a bigger structure and I made a smaller structure within that bigger structure. So guys, there's a lot of ways of looking at price action when it comes to trading like this. But overall, we do see that the volume has transacted more likely at the bottom of the section of the market. Great signs for us to start looking for some key ideas for sells and trying to take some profits midway throughout the market. Now, the other thing that I want to show you guys is if you're using your delta or you're using a footprint chart, you can clearly see some key levels of rejection for price to rotate back towards the downside. So once again, keep this in mind. It's very simple. We want to rotate from the top all the way towards the middle, from the bottom all the way towards the middle. Once price breaks above this structure, then we can start looking for pushes towards the upside to where? Other key points of volume. So hypothetically, if this was a volume node right here, and I'm going to draw it out for you guys, and we have a high volume, we have a low, we have a middle, and we have a top, most likely price is going to rotate towards the next high level. But for this case scenario, we didn't break above, so we're stuck inside of this sell zone, limit orders of sellers trying to push the price down, and we're going to keep constantly looking at that structure the way it is. Now I'm going to show you guys one more thing to show us volume. This is static. I'm going to show you a dynamic volume range and how to look at it. Right here, this is going to be a dynamic. Dynamic is another word for moving volume, right? So this is called your weighted average. Weighted average is very important because the blue line is telling me the natural average that everybody's willing to buy and sell from, or the best price you can attain Ecomi from. There's a lot of successful traders in the futures and the stock markets that use this to potentially find key levels of where is a reasonable price to start buying an Ecomi token instead of gambling or guessing at key locations. This is really important to start using. Why do I like this? Well, guys, take a look. Whenever prices break out of this band, it is a good way to start rotating the price back towards the center of the blue line. Why do we use this? This is a value where price can start holding a lot of great support, but most of all, this is where new traders or investors or smart investors in that case will start buying it at a cheaper but a discounted price that we start to look for. So when can we use both of this together? Guys, very easy, and I'm going to show you. When prices start rotating out of the band, and also it is at the top of this volume profile, we could slowly start to see that, hey, we're starting to get a profile of sellers trying to willingly sell to where? The middle of the band. Great ideas to see where the highest volume or the portrayed price is trying to go to. This is where I'm going to start looking for fades in the market to sell. This is not a full picture of how to enter the trade, but this is a full picture of what price will do throughout the weeks to come. So please, guys, keep this in mind. We're seeing a rotation. If prices do not break above 0.001275 and we do not hold with a body close, I'm seeing a rotation back in towards the middle. If the volume node right here, this red line, does change right here, I'm going to be looking to take profits before. Wherever the red line or the blue line hits first, where the price is, that's where my passive aggressive buying orders will start to play in and try to take some orders towards the upside. Keep in mind, we are still bullish in the long-term projection. For the short term, we're inside this volume node, so we're looking for a rotation back down, a fade back down in towards the middle. We're looking for a great rejection. You guys can look for your rejections with fair value gaps, order blocks, all of those fun stuff. But I want to see key rejections or liquidations before we push up. So I want to give you guys a little hint of what to look out for right here in the middle here. Once price is coming back into a key level, what I want to see is maybe a double bottom, maybe a triple bottom, but I want to see a liquidation before prices take out that structure. Why is this so important for me to say? Guys, a candlestick is the same way. When I look at a candlestick like this, it is the same kind of idea that I'm putting out for you to take a look at. So this candle wick is exactly like this. Price has opened here. It could have gone back up. Then it could have came back down, took out our lows, then continued back up. This wick portion could be this part right here. That is the wick on the bottom end right here. So when I'm looking at this, guys, price could have gone like this at any moment, gone back up, came back in, made a wick at the bottom, then continued up, made a top wick, then guess what? It traded back in and closed here. And when you look at this candle, it tells us we have wicks everywhere. It's just accumulated with a lot of candles to make this candle, showing us that wicks are supposed to be everywhere. So you start using your wicks as liquidation wicks of some nature and start looking for those trade concepts. So if I'm telling you there's a high probability we could start rotating the market towards the downside, start looking for this bias of liquidation before you start buying every single position. And when we do buy, we want to take profits at the top again and lock in as much as we can. And if you guys do like these type of videos and how well I explain this volume and how price move around these volumes, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Other than that, thank you so much. Take it easy and John out. Peace.